Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope everyone got their goodies. If not, please collect it from entrance.
అంతే కదా.
I hope everyone liked their goodies.
రవి రవి
Can we have some response?
నీకు లింక్ పంపుతున్నా, ఓపెన్ చేసి చూడ వస్తుందా నీకు?
Thank you. Thank you.
हाँ है, it's done. Just nice. हाँ, एक बार चेक कर, ऑडियो కూడా ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ పోయి చెక్ చేయి. उनको देके चेक करो ना माइक को. उनको उनसे पूछा है, वो चल रहा है, उनका चल रहा है. अच्छा बस ఒకసారి. अच्छा इस पे स्क्रीन करो, YouTube लाइव पे डायरेक्टली नहीं कुछ का कौन बस मेरे पर्सनल है ना. बारे हाँ, ఇంటర్నెట్ ఏం చేయలేం. ఆడియో బాగుందా? మనం కూడా కొనుక్కోవచ్చు అయితే, మనం కూడా కొనుక్కోవచ్చు అయితే. ఆడియో బాగుందా? దిస్ నీడ్ టు బి అది వాళ్ళకి చెప్పేసి ఎవరికి మైక్ స్టేజ్ మాట్లాడుతున్నారో వాళ్ళు ఒకటి రెండు ఉన్నాయి కదా. అదే ఇద్దరు యాంకర్లకి
I request everyone please find their team names and sit accordingly. We have some games. I hope you listen to this. How do you like it?
ఏదిరా దీని పేరేంటి
See,
రెస్టారెంట్?
you like it? Oh, do you like it? Thanks.
I hope you have received your how do you find out these? I hope you receive your money.
No, Shine, it's done. It's done. It's working fine. I'm sending you in WhatsApp. You can just forward it.
Sandhya ma'am, how's your Thank you.
You can just copy paste.
All your teams are there.
Yeah.
But this they can try.
End of. You will get lot of results. But
Because maybe teacher on
sit together.
them. 5:30 పెట్టు.
5:30. I kept 5, not 5:30. That was visual but today. అంతే కదా పడిపోతుంది ఇదా ఇదా కొంచెం ఆటమన్నాం మళ్ళీ కెమెరా పెట్టేసి పది పది ఏది అది కొట్టలేదు కంప్లైంట్ పెట్టలేదు పెట్టేసి సౌండ్ మాట్లాడే
from 20. Everybody, can we have your attention, please? I hope everybody's setting down the right seat. There is very interesting activities going on if you're in the right place. So until the main event starts, there's a lot of interesting things that's happening around. So, Paka ma'am, most interesting thing you have found so far in this last 1 hour? What was so interesting there? Okay. How many of you have seen the opened up the boat leaf? Everybody? Anybody wants to talk about what you saw? If you like your image, we'll go maybe one and one here. What's your name? Vinay. How is your image? Oh, what is the outline? I don't know. Nice. You like it? Your name, please. How was your day? What is it like? Yeah, good to see you there. Continuing team together. Sir, you have please. Okay. What's your fruit? Can you find the right thought? Um, did you check your picture?
కూపన్ కోడ్ ఇచ్చారు ఇందులో.
ఇది స్పీడ్ ఉందా? ఎంత స్పీడ్?
10 Mbps వస్తుంది.
10?
ఆ.
Are you guys from the same group? Your name?
ఒక్కసారి స్పీడ్ టెస్ట్ చేసుకోండి. ఇది ఎంత స్పీడ్ వస్తుంది?
You know, I think there are a lot of people think to discover something. And I think amazing them got in the right place.
Thank
you. Hey, did you know from page C? And you're from which department? Good to see you. Again, I see your slope perfectly in the right place. Did you see your outline?
నా ప్లేస్ లో కూడా
Did you like it? I like it. Yeah, good to see culture of history and like one please. So, Rishabh, they are
ना बात करते हैं वो రవి ఇందాక ఒక అతనికి మైక్ పెట్టినాం కదా,
what is
మైక్ ఇక్కడ అది తీసుకొని వచ్చి సార్కి ఇవ్వాలి. తీసుకుంటారు మొత్తం ఆడనే మాట్లాడుతుంటూ ఈడ కుసుకుస్ కుసుకుస్ అని మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నట్టు ఇది. తీసుకో.
what is their
పాట పాడేసి వస్తారు. నాకు తెలిసి ఇంకొక మైక్ కూడా ఆన్ చేయడం అవసరమా, తీసేసుకోవచ్చు కదా. అర్థమైంది కదా? అట్లా కాదు, అవసరం రాదు. కెమెరా కట్టం ఉన్నావు, కెమెరా కట్టం ఉన్నావు.
Okay, and you're in which stream? Germany. And you're in the right place. Amazing. I think all the German. Hello, man. Did you get to see your area after? And does it reflect as close as you are? And are you in the right place? Okay, hi.
I'm sorry.
You're in which department? Amazing, right? First time we get to see all of them together. And then you're amazing, right? First time we get to see all of them together, please. Sure. Amazing. And then you're amazing, right? First time we get to see all of them
जबरदस्त नहीं?
together, please.
और एक है
Amazing.
दो
And then you're amazing, right? First time we get to see all of them
जबरदस्त नहीं?
together, please.
और एक है
And then you're amazing, right? First time we get to see all of them
जबरदस्त नहीं?
together, please.
और एक है जबरदस्त नहीं और एक है जबरदस्त जबरदस्त नहीं चार्जिंग फोटो
चार्ज नहीं चल रहा है 1 घंटे ही चलेगा
अच्छा ठीक है
I think everyone understand this thing.
राघवेंद्र स्वाति वाला
So, how come Katie, you're alone? You're in which team? Okay, no, you're in which team? How many members are in 12? Why you want to leave your team members alone? I know you're an organizer, but all of the 12 members, please raise your hand.
Talking about more impossible.
I think you should join the team. You know, when
चलो छोटा कुछ कर आप दे
what is spent for? Okay, that's why we very important which is changing some of the stories. And you know, lot of these are team. Really, I can lot of work from
चार्ट नहीं समझ इसको चार्ट यहाँ चार्ट है बस वाल कर सकते हैं आठ
so then yeah, say not actually something. So which team you're in here? You're in the right place. Where are you? Three artists looking for one different team. I think a couple of them there. Hey, which one? No. This Sawyer of them? Okay, okay. I think it's more eager to see your reaction on that. And by the way, Archie, how was your outside?
Not bad of them of ours. It is also.
You know, man,
I'm a Japanese fan.
welcome, Nanda. Thanks. Yeah. There's so much about
कैमरा पकड़ा रही है उसको पकड़ाएंगे 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 कैमरा पकड़ा रही है उसको पकड़ाएंगे
I want in all stage or since the show will begin soon. I'm happy to welcome everyone to today's online meeting. It's wonderful to have an entire team together. Good evening, everyone. I'm Raghavendra, and it's such a joy to welcome you all to this special gathering.
And it's happy together will be hosting you tonight, guiding you through an evening filled with energy, celebration, and inspiration. And today,
Hold on, Swati. I think I just got a call from AGO. Just a minute. Calling what side? Okay.
I'm missing school tonight and I am seeing a low credits alert. My papa did top up my account. He's too busy with work.
Don't worry, AGO. Let me check with your father. Cody, what happened? I think you must have received the nudge. No, but the grades are low. You should log into the parent app and you should recharge it. Your son is eagerly waiting to learn with smart learning.
thank you, sir. Now, I'm sure Azure will be 10x smarter after clearing it out. Thank you, sir. Smarter. Now, I'm sure
Not only
Azure will be
SEO, every
10x
student
smarter
using our
after
school
clearing it out.
will
Thank
be
you, sir.
smarter.
Now,
But
I'm sure
not only
Azure
SEO,
will be 10x
every student
smarter
using our
after
school
clearing it out.
will be
Thank you, sir.
smarter.
$1 target. Tonight, we are here to figure out exactly where we stand on this 10x journey.
So tonight we are not only celebrating how far we are, but we are also finding out something bigger. Game on 10x.
A journey of growth, speed, and impact, powered by AI, inspired by vision. So, fasten your belts, because tonight is about our 10x mindset, where every idea, every effort, and every achievement takes us to the next level.
With that spirit, let's kick off this evening.
To begin our evening with elegance, we have something truly special for you.
We are about to witness a beautiful dance performance. Who is stepping to show her passion towards dance?
That's right. Our first performance tonight is a tribute to Saraswati Devi, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom, a perfect reflection of the values we hold dear in the world of education.
Let's sit back, relax, and join us in welcoming Rajeshri ma'am onto the stage for the stunning classical performance.
A huge round of applause for Rajeshri ma'am. Now we welcome our goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's welcome our special guest, directors, goddess Saraswati Devi. Welcome our special guest, operation, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Welcome our special guest, operation, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Welcome our special guest, operation, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, operation, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, operation, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, directors, Namkrista Kumar, goddess Saraswati Devi. Let's take it. Welcome our special guest, directors,
Can we play the August Olympics video?
We are really sorry for the glitch. Rahul, we have had a lovely classical dance, but I think the next one is going to be super fun.
Sure, Swati. The next tactic is going to bring a whole new level of excitement.
Get ready for a blend of languages, rhythms, and a whole lot of energy as we welcome Pranati to the stage. Hello everyone, I'm Pranati and I will be singing a mashup of Telugu, Hindi and Tamil. I hope you'll enjoy it. कि तुम कुछ होश नहीं है तू मुझको पिला देगी ना मैं पी कर जोड़ी जाऊंगा तू सुबह बुला देगी ना तू बाहों में रखी शब्दों पर फिर चाहे दूर हटा दे मैं तो तुम्हें रखी हूँ सर तू मुझको सुना देगी ना जानती ना देखी सुनसे देखो देखो ये जमाने से लग गए आगे वो क्यों मासूम बन गए तेरे लिए आगे को मेरे सनम के अलावा कभी दिल भी मांग लो ना हाय पल पे मेरी अब ऐसा लगन हो वरना पाए बातों से बातों से निकल जाऊं Asal dia tampil pada budi pada rohan mana isi mahal muda belum ada belum I mudi apa ya bertes itu kalau kita berbohong Rabbi, I am going to
Well, man, thank you, Prati, for bringing such impression. And a special welcome to Rajshekar Ramagan sir, co-founder of People Combine. Now, our team is ready topics Olympics.
It's like the questions like this. What are you saying?
That was awesome. But you know what? The fun get me started.
Now that we have seen the action, it's time for us to jump into the next game. It's the time to go on your chairs and quickly get onto your feet.
Okay, let Bandhav take on the show.
Hello everyone. So this part of the we are going to be taking up. I request everyone to sit according to your teams. Please take 2 minutes and please sit according to your team. One of your team confirm if there is a packet of balloons and then take to the table. Row one step is the guys, quick. Guys, if a table doesn't have any balloon or a tape, please raise your hand. And only one packet of balloon per team, please. On this, with your team. Okay, guys, in the meantime, I'll be explaining the rules. The game name is the balloon crossword. I will give you guys a 5-letter word. The rules are simple. You have to make the word using balloons. Each letter should have at least 7 balloons. And the time limit is 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'll be selecting 2 winners. The winning criteria is top 2 teams to be selected based on the number of letters found in the word and also the form of the word. Must not only have no letters but should also be the continued. And other teams should not inform other teams when you. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It's good. Guys, please stop blowing the balloons. The game has not started yet. Okay, so if every table has few balloons, we can start the game. Okay, the word is learn. You can take a reference from the screen. The game starts now. Your time limit is 10 minutes. Remember the rules. Each balloon or more than 7 balloons. Someone write the same number of children. The final word you want to complete. Please blow your balloons.
ఆడియో వస్తుంది. ఆడియో డైరెక్ట్ వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడేది ట్రాన్స్మిట్ అవుతుంది ఆడియో. ఇప్పుడు అన్ని సీట్సే కనిపిస్తున్నాయి. ఇంకొకటి హైట్ లో ఉంది.
Come on, guys. 5 minutes left.
Designing escape designing. After making a letter, it's like the computer table so that you can come have a look. I think it's a very critical. I letter one, each letter is please determine the conversation details. No. It's not about friendship first. Even if you realize your maintenance. No one alone. Please take the records together. Really try to write 7 elements. I will come after 10 minutes and check each word from. You guys, please put it both of them. But only one should have.
Team down, do it. Okay, team cloud made of the three letters. So team have taken some five letters. But I couldn't understand what letters what, so I'm going to the team. So team Gemini have done a great job. Have made all the five letters. Team Gemini also finished five letters. So Gemini and team Gemini have finished.
I want to be.
Nice creative from five to team. Total class 15 teams, so we got another competitor. So John, I will be competitors. I think I think not joining later. It has take the balance to the table, so I don't think there will be the competition. So the team have done a good job. Good job. So give us 2 minutes. When we decide the winner. Italian team. So I have done a good job, but from here I can't make what he can once say. And I've cut it up into four. Sorry, guys. Pick the winners now. So the two winners are Team Gemini and Team Amazon Titan. Bye. Team Gemini.
Cheers all for their energy and teamwork. Oh, I can totally guess. It's the same question the whole room has.
Yeah, exactly. Where are you? The next journey. How close are you? What's next?
Some things will unfold over the time. But for now, our Vice President of Engineering, Srinivas Venkota, is here to give us a glimpse.
What do you think?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening to everybody. Since the last bugle called by Naga in the last all hands, we are watched at 1 to 10x, and everybody is trying to discover what 10x means to them. Uh, One day, as you have seen in the morning, in the early part of the time period, what 10x means to our customers. A student trying to learn 8 times better is another aspect of looking at 10x. While without trying to claim where we are in terms of 10x, 5x, right? It's important to look at the journey, how we have done this last quarter, and how far are we in that whole path of exploring where we are. So, in this path, following the tradition of the last couple of online, we are trying to bring in the entire quarterly update of all the departments and trying to make sure all of you are represented through my voice. I may or may not have done it perfect justice, but I've tried my best. In case if we miss You have more questions, feel free to reach out to the respective departments to get more clarity. Thank you, Jason. So on this regard, which thing would you like to go first? So probably I'll do one thing. And the important thing is people facing the field, being on the stand and then dealing with the customers and feeling the heat. Let's go with the sales team. Right? The first quarterly update is about the sales team. Uh, the important story about the sales team has been they have started the launch and outreach with the paper use. This model started right from the June 15 and they have been reaching out to a lot of schools. The biggest success story has been in this quarter. 15 of these stores have converted successfully with that story. And then telling this paper use story is not an easy task. This is such a unique model in the market. Not everybody will get it. It's such a, before you jump to the sales, there's a lot of activity that has to happen in the background. Like often if you see there are a lot of initiatives to create awareness of what this new model means. We are not directly selling to the customers as schools. We are not directly making students realize the challenge. We are also involving parents in this entire decision making process. So it is a lot of effort in bringing all people together and creating this awareness. Often, if you see the LI session that Naga has represented, the very presentation there has converted two schools to immediately accept the things. One other interesting thing that's going on is there's a lot of diversity in the school distribution. Though we claim to be from southern part of the India, there's a lot of diversity from northern and western regions. We have schools from Delhi, Dehradun, in our solution, we're pretty much completely. This is like a very big success story when we're going in our and this important as you know, is a need to reach out to customers, which means the existing ASP has to scale up. In that sense, the entire team has expanded to 10 young growth specialists who have joined in this last 1 month. And one of the uniqueness factors is how you train them. Like there's so many people. You can't just so many people trained by one or two. Availability of your time. Are you there? Will you go for sales or you try to train them? There's so much of challenges they have been going through and they are innovative solution. Krishna AI, the AI agent, which has been making all the difference. We'll hear more about it, but one of the unique initiatives with respect to AI is there is someone to help you learn about the product, the story, what you're trying to sell, and the philosophy behind what you're trying to build. Always available 24/7. Learn at your pace and quickly pick up on how you want to reach out to customers. Now, moving from the sales, the next important story from the field is the need is a school success team. Now, there's been a very interesting story of having four schools in the last quarter. This is where study has been pretty much insisting on the comparison how they have been improving quarter on quarter. So last quarter we had four schools with 64 teachers engaged and 1,026 students onboarded. And this quarter we had five schools more, 95 teachers engaged and 2,946 students engaged. Now, what does onboarded mean to inside the system? Now, what is the next thing they have to do? That's the thing. What is the next thing they have to do? To raise tickets, they have to log in. The first part of the challenge is logging in. You can see in this quarter, the first time making sure every student logs in. Earlier it used to take 5 weeks, now it used to take 8 weeks, now it is come down to 5 weeks. Now, after they log in, what do they do? To complete the homeworks. Now, teacher is assigned, then you just log in and then get out. That is not a story we want to have, right? We want students to be engaged. Now, earlier, it used to, to make students complete the entire homework. at least be part of it, to have the 0% NP completion. It's come down from 35 to 6%, it's like up to 29 point drop. Now, after they completed, what is the next part of the story for the student? Performance, and they getting hooked up continuously. You see, year on year compared to last year and this year, they were able to engage the students more to the point where we have 9% average increase in the homework consistency, where students are completing everything on time. In addition to that, 20% of students are actively engaged every day. Now, this is also story on the student side. But our school success team deals with the entire school, which means we also deal with teachers. Now, here are some very happy indices from user feedback coming from the teachers, where for each subject, for science we have 9 as a rating, maths 8.5, social 8, English 7. This is speaking about the confidence teachers are showing in each of the subjects where they use our school AI solution. Kudos to the school success team. Now here we move on to the key, which is somewhere in the field, but sometimes sitting in the office, which is marketing data, right? One of the big challenges marketing has to solve in Coschool is they do brand marketing of Coschool, create awareness of school AI, and also create interest in the schools. So that's a multi-faceted problem they are trying to solve it every day. So all of you know where you stand with compared to learning curve. How many of you have heard about learning curve? That's good. So learning curve is an amazing initiative and internal podcast which has been a such a successful story. You see, it started, it grown from 50,000 views in the last quarter to a whole of 340,000 views. See, now hours of watch time, it went from 1,000 hours to all the way 80,000 hours plus. That's an awesome joy. Think that when you're painfully solution that you're trying to a problem that you're trying to solve, and then reaching out to the community of the next part, I'm sure how many of you have seen the school AI brand film on YouTube? So it's an amazing story. Now, this is something you guys have to understand. Anytime you put out a video, right? Typically, for a 30-second video, the watch time is around 50%. You know where a AI video stands? Like around the 2 lakh views and average watch time is more than 89%. This is way beyond your any average content that you see as a funny thing, right? This is like such a serious stuff we're talking about here. Now we are talking about scaling the interest of the schools. Now, one of the important thing is to create interest. We want to have qualified schools quickly reach out to us. Now, what does a qualified mean? We want at least as of now to start with a CBSE school, having up to grade 10 and above, right? And then eager to work on the AI kind of solution. Now, with this kind of model, the biggest difference has been the way sales team has been reaching out. In the last quarter, they see from 39. This quarter, the qualified leads have gone up to 3.2. So a huge kudos to the thinking. From this, now we move on to the people who are covering these things, right? We move on to the education team. Now, education team is going through a lot of changes. We say, yes. Now, how them if you start, let's start with purely numbers, right? The first part, if you just go with the momentum of the numbers, we have questions that got added as 1 lakh, which is like 3 times the increase of what we had in the previous quarter. The question approval rate has gone up to 80%. It's like more than 2 points. 2% of 2 times the rate change. Right? The video content that got added was more than 1800 videos. And chapters that did live went by 65, which is 2 times what we had in the previous quarter. Now, chapter enablement time has also come down drastically to 1.5 days. But all for you simply the numbers. What does this mean, or what is making these things happen? Why is it so different in this quarter? What are driving the excess better qualitative things which are driving it, which is the milestone that are reached. The important milestone is we started having the AI-based validation agent, which has done a lot of performance reduction, performance enhancement by cutting down the turnaround time by 70%. And text-based questions go live. When I say live, right from the entire learn team to the point where it can be immediately tested. It goes with almost zero human intervention. Then, in terms of the content generation, we already are pioneers in generating a lot of automated content. Now, earlier we used to have several prompts to generate all types of questions, each type having its own variation. Now we have one ring to rule them all. One prompt to generate a lot of these patterns of questions in one shot. And that has really created the 2 times faster AXT what we have done. And another amazing part that we've been claiming earlier and waiting for is the CPSC. The grade 8 and 8 chapters are complete end to end. I'm sure this is like really amazing news for both school success team and seats team. You would you can't find anyone else in this. Now, from this, what's the way forward? The next part is already the work that is going on in a separate phase is the competitive track, where BNN Motisar, along with other education team members, have been working on generating 13,000 questions already, which are ready to be tried out. Then we already are introducing the multi-concept tagging questions, and then this is completely in progress with the new way of helping students in attempting all the competitive track. And coming to curriculum, I'm sure we have been talking about micro-curriculum for some time. Now is the time where we are already there, where the foundation is laid for the first state level curriculum, which is Telangana board. Which is also triggers to entire education. What the thing you want to hear next? So let's talk about product. When you say product, there are three important departments which are important, which is product design team, product management team, and product engineering team. So we'll immediately get started on the product design team. So as you all know, in the last quarter, one of the key things we started was the people use. The story for people use has been really amazing on the marketing side, as well as internally, it has been a very good story of how to optimize your whole operation processes. Design team has taken a lean design method approach so that they can quickly iterate and don't run to the solution but ideate as much as possible. This has been made possible by a lot of AI tools they have been using. Right? And then they also devised and create, and then they try to broadly optimize this entire design process, the entire design window. Second, one of the significant piece if you have come across is we have conducted a design workshop for the OPED students. Now, this included design thinking and the way they got engaged with the project, giving them an entire story of how we built a whole design process in our school AI solution. Now, one thing the students particularly liked was that entire, they allowed the entire onboarding process. So it's just a story of how you pick your avatar and things like that. It's just pick their imagination very well. The next important aspect that's happening in the design team is standardization. In terms of bringing on all the design systems, the buttons, icons, micro animations, everything is kind of being standardized so that we have ambiguity consistency and it also helps them to be auditing progress. The next part, as you know, is in terms of the AI adoption. Now, every team is racing in terms of AI adoption. The first important story in the AI adoption here is, as I mentioned earlier, is about expediting the entire ideation process, creating multiple variants of the same design, and then using AI tools themselves to validate it. These are a lot of creative ways in which the design team is jumping on to the AI based empowering their performance, into scaling their challenge of whatever they're finding, whatever time it used to take to find a human to review a lot of things. Using AI, they're getting a lot of qualitative feedback in the shorter time. Now, kudos to he will want the product management teams to go product management as it could be more speak. One of the key things that we have done is rolled out the capabilities.
Directly
Now,
this
this
one
one of
is
the
noise
enabled number of decision makers to take their decisions. Now, CTOs have not more flexibility. Sales have not more flexible in making their decisions. So that way, the notion of the entire people use has revolutionized the entire decision making process and enabled reaching out to schools much more effectively. The second part that we see is when we talk about school AI as a digital solution, there's a common notion that everything is online, screen time, all these challenges. But effectively, with handwriting feature, students do their homework as naturally as possible on a piece of paper, take a snapshot, use a handwriting feature, and get the whole thing evaluated. Now, this is bridging the gap of calling digital versus natural homework and blurring that notion of, oh, we are just a digital solution. The third part, as you all know, experiential learning is there in the system, but we rolled it out more aggressively in the last quarter with a lot of experiments for the students. Now, one of the key things is some of the schools have picked up very aggressively and they started adopting this without too much of nudge from this. This is one of the success stories of where students and parents and teachers can work together in creating a very amazing learning experience. Now, since some schools are very aggressive on these pieces, this has been one of the key factors enabling us. Now, within the product management team, also have picked up the AI part, where vibe coding has been helping them in prototyping, and particularly they have been using Reptic over the whole of other tools, which has emphasized that they simplify their code process on bringing up the product definitions quickly. Now, a big kudos to the entire product management team. At this point, I know it's going okay on. There are two more important departments, and one of them is engineering. With, with a little more energy, whatever I have left, let me quickly jump on to the engineering team. So we all should take pride in getting that first immediate release in this quarter, release 4.1, which had a lot of features helping the teachers, a lot of features helping the student, but the primary among them was the paper use. Now, I think we talked enough about paper use and we hear a little more from every other speaker. Now, one of the interesting things is the entire notion of smart learning is introduced with paper use. Right? Now, coming to the other aspect, now we started talking to the students. Earlier it was a prototype and now it has become mainstream. Every student has an opportunity to hear rather than just type and just read. So there is another marking feature in our entire school AI solution. Now, as we've been talking about time, there's a lot of story around time. This is the AI tutor agent, which I'm going to cover a little more, but let's really jump on to the next important segment, which is the engagement we are having by having more power to the education team. Now, one of the key things, as I've already mentioned, is question validation agent went live, which is already saw the numbers at which it is creating the difference. Now, we have fully automated NCRT content ingestion, which means you upload a textbook, it gets all the way consumed. Now, this is significantly reducing any new chapter that you want to onboard and then build the next stage of processes. And there are several automation tools that are built to simplify day-to-day content management. Thanks to both Sampath and Ankur coming up with a lot of these challenges, thanks to now, more about marketing. The entire Coschool website is revamping this last quarter. I'm sure all of you must have seen a glimpse. If not, this is the right time to immediately open it and check it. Now, the other piece is the smart sales brochure. The idea that Paritosh has been floating where you have a brochure, you put a QR code, you get the digital version of it exactly one-to-one quickly without any variation, right? Now, in addition to this, we have a lot of internal initiatives. Primary among them is vibe coding. We have heard a lot about vibe coding. Vibe coding event, vibe coding ticket. What it means is this vibe coding, the hand of a perfect person is amazing. But if it is not used properly, it is disastrous. This is a fact. So we have been putting a lot of effort in taming this beast. Sky, as you have seen, is one of the first vibe coded solution which is out. We are trying to put the maximum effort not to make a single line of code change and use explicitly LLM solution, particularly the crowd code which has made sure, which has made these things possible to practically create a solution which is deployable. Yes, there are a lot of challenges. Something done wrong creates a lot of maintenance nightmare. So in that sense, we are going very cautiously on the spike coding front and not to create too much of engineering waste. Now, the second part, as I've been talking about, more than talking in terms of numbers of 10x, we are putting a lot of effort on scaling the platform. Tomorrow, I want to bring on 1,000. Yeah, let's see, 1,000 schools, we are ready. That's the notion with which we are trying to scale the platform so that we are always ready to engage any initiative coming from any side. So, engineering, ready to scale at your convenience. Now, let's move on to the most powerful team, which has been covering all of us. None of these departments would have performed if this team is not performing beyond what we are expecting. Now, here is the story of our HR team. So, one of the key things, if you identify, we have 18 plus new members, 9 growth specialist trainees who joined so quickly, and then we have 100% intern conversion. Let me put the story a little more in detail. We have students joining as interns from a variety of universities, you can see, right from IIT Hyderabad, IIT Jamshedpur, Usman University, University of Hyderabad, Pearl Academy, and Mahindra University. Now, our mentorship program has been such a successful thing. I'm sure all of you must have seen the testimonials of how our young engineers. Now, I could feel so proud that we could convert all our interns into full-time regular freshman. And this 100% conversion goes kudos to all the effort that teams have been putting, right from mentoring all the way to bringing them, making them feel Coschool is the right place for them to look at their future. Now, at this moment, I want to pause and then request all the fresh grads who have joined to just stand up. All the fresh grads who have just joined. Please, everyone. That's it. As you can see, a big number of them have joined the stage. And organizing the event and the instrumental system How much influence you have done to you? And welcome all, and I think we are seeing a lot of difference from the way we are being engaging together. Now, from the talent acquisition, hiring, let's move on to the next challenge that HR has been solving, which is AI-led HR transformation. With the entire Kai launch, the biggest difference is you can't have a human tutor available all the time. From HR department in terms of the learning and development, this has been a huge boon for them. You have somebody to talk to at any time. And there are very good testimonials of where they like, they break their head, and all the stuff. Very interesting experiences which are turning out. This is a new style of training in this new generation. All kudos to the ideas which have come up, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more about those ideas going forward too. The second part is the activated hiring, which is happening the Zoho recruit engine, and then the entire career page has been developed, revolutionized our acquisition process. Now, as you can see, job posting reach candidates across 16 major job boards simultaneously. And this is like going to create a little more, all the managers feel comfortable getting your new guys very fairly. Right? So process automation is one of the significant things. Earlier, whenever we deal with so much mixed software, we have full timers and we have part timers who are on contract basis. Dealing with so many contracts in the manual process is such a laborious process. Now, by taking a lot of process automation initiatives, one of the successful cases, 110 SME freelancer agreements have been centralized and the entire thing has been tracked through Zoho. And this is like one of the big uh, differentiators since the last quarter. Now, this is where we all come into picture, right? How many of you have taken the medical test? How many of you have seen it? I'm sure you will start liking it. So there is already a huge applause for uh, the recent credit indicator, entire health checkup program that has started. Now, couple of the highlights, I'm sure couple of teachers must have already the way the employee engagement with respect to the teachers day program has been has more than 100% of NPS. I think that requires a nice thought, guys. And then we already have experience that spoke extravaganza. 85% employees are environment. Come on a weekend for 3 days. Take all kinds of field games. No more finger games. That is an amazing force participation and kudos to all you guys. Let me know all your people and all those we have won will be waiting for your prize distribution which will happen now. And then this another, though it is a lighter thing, but it's not an easy thing, getting zero audit observations. Now, these are the updates and from the HR team and huge kudos to lots of fun. Now we talked about all of them. Now, what do you think? Where are we? We are maybe there at least a minute ago, or maybe the 10 minutes ago. But our journey has been so profound. Going forward, if you take the same pace, take motivation from the other teams which have been doing a bigger momentum, capture them into your own plans. I am sure we are going to do a lot more. So 10x is not just a number. It is the attitude to scale. We are in a place where whatever we are doing, we are just not going to do in the simpler form. We have to do it multiples. That is the notion of this 10x. It's not just a number, it is a mindset. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Tia.
A special welcome to Rakesh Gupta, founder of Frank Employees Pro Education, Healthcare and Technology. Sir, we may request you to please come onto the stage and share a few words.
Thank you very much. Uh, First of all, extremely happy here. Happy to see a lot of old faces and happy to see a lot of new faces as well. Many of you don't know, I have been associated with Naga and Raj for almost a decade and a half, which is, I think, 70% of my working life. I think I feel privileged to be here. And I'm just being here for like 10, 15 minutes and I was listening to all the great accomplishments that this team has had over the last quarter. Congratulations to you all. I keep getting all the updates from the team. And I was talking to him about the launch. And he showed me some data points around user engagements and how parents and teachers are using it. I was quite amazed. I mean, I've been in education for almost a decade. Most my journey in education has been about the I've seen a whole bunch of tech solutions, but I through the kind of engagement and the usage I saw become the product. It's still good. But this is remarkable and kudos to all of you. Congratulations to all of you. I will continue to shout, cheer, wish all of you all the very best as you continue to do this, continue on this journey, and I wish all of you have great outcome. I also feel in my mind, I'm unlucky to better than you. Three specific reasons for that. First of all, you guys are working on cutting edge technology. I think the kind of exposure that you guys have today, I think maybe less than 0.001% of professionals globally would have done it. Some of you might know I myself have been in technology. I was in expert earlier. But having of stock projects happening in the ecosystem of environment today, and you guys having the opportunity to work on that and transforming the economic that you are doing right. And if you're saying that is extremely make the most of this opportunity, find yourself, push yourself, create value for what we are doing and the things happening in this process. It'll be a great journey for us. Second, to work in a sector which is amazing. Education is a core sector which impacts not just really the set of people who are looking at it right now, but the entire economy, the entire country as well. And to work on a sector like that, this is again quite amazing. I feel very lucky on that. We are working on the intersection of technology and education, which is quite exciting. Uh, and last, I think you are working with two very incredible leaders. Like I said, content have been with them for almost 15 years. I think great visionary people who have imagined and built things which many people couldn't even think about. Right? I mean, think about around 4.5 decades back, you would have thought about school growth and tutorage because the country graduates the country for the first ones we start to get started. And think about what you guys are doing at most. I don't think very many people can actually even think about a product of this nature. We are working with incredible leaders who are visionaries and who are giving opportunities to kind of nourish in the ecosystem which is there. So thanks, Naga. Thanks, Raja, for so I also want to share in the 15 years that I've associated with Raj and Naga. I've had 4 5 learning. I'm getting more learning that I've picked up. I'm very familiar about them very. And I've actually used a lot of those learnings in my own life, in my own work as well. The first one, like this group has already has been a part of the country. That's very, because they was, and has always been called people combined. How many of you know the genesis of the word people combined? Where does this thought come? Does anybody know? I think the new guy, I don't want to go back to Boni and Chani and all of that, right? People were new. Does anybody know where does the word people combined come from? Anybody? Shine into the slightly better job on the industrial side. But then I think the core thought process there is that a lot of good people come together. They look out for each other. They have a great relationship with each other. It results into great outcomes. That has been the thought in philosophy from the days which I've known I think I've seen that, I have lived through that over the period that I've made associated with that. And that philosophy has worked incredibly well for me in the post people combined with it. There hasn't been a post people combined with it. But that thought process and philosophy has worked for me. It's a great thought. Work with people, really great relationships, and that will go a long way in your journey. Second, interesting piece which I have picked is the entire thought of learning, unlearning, and relearning. We talked about how fast and how dynamic everything is changing in things around us. I mean, kind of working on AI every week, 2 weeks, there are new models being launched, new platforms being launched. And it's important for us to relearn everything which is there. And I think, again, look, we can gentlemen embody that. I think I remember when I first joined people now, I was a fresh graduate from MIT, first in some places after that, we just came in. And at that age, at the age, which was there, both of them, apart from doing the full-time stuff that they were doing at Google, which was extremely high pressure work, they decided to go into the media life, which was incredible. And I thought that was incredible. What was even more incredible, after doing what they did at Google, they decided to start a company in the space of AI, which a lot of 22-year-olds won't even do that. Went back and said that I will go out and learn everything which is required to build the AI company. And actually, I have been able to build a big AI company like that. I was shocked to see the number of people who were there in this company. Quite amazing to do that, right? And I also know that every alternate day I will get a WhatsApp post from Nara about a technology which I don't know. And when I think, I cannot keep myself abreast with technology. But it like three levels ahead of me as well. So that philosophy of learning, unlearning, relearning is quite a very important. That's something that you guys know. I think it's incredible that the learning is right. The third thing, and I think this is more philosophical, I think they gave me an environment to work, which always made me feel that I was more popular in this. I was one of the owners of the company. And today at lowest professional from the time, I have taken that philosophy forward. And I feel I can ensure that everybody feels to have ownership in the company within them. They should feel responsible. They should have the initiative. They should feel powered to do what they're doing. And take whatever they're doing, company could be doing small coding of their company, could be generating content of their company, could be handling the HR. But if you develop that so-called ownership mindset, they will just go the extra mile to make sure that you create value. And that creation of value will go a long run in your own personal development. Because once you show that mindset, you get noticed. So that mindset you should develop as a team member here. I think it will just go out of the world to kind of deliver value to yourself. The fourth thing is also very critical. It has always been day zero for me. Whenever a new topic comes up, I personally go to think that I personally don't assume that I know anything. There's always been a curiosity level which allows me to down my guard and make sure that I bring my attempt to learn it. I think I've learned from 2,000 number as well. I think very, very serious. They will go in depth, ask so many different questions. And despite having so many years of experience, even in education, they are like one of the pioneers of the world. They need somebody. They will ask so many questions and try to learn and learn in the entire process as well. I think that's a great if you are meeting somebody, if you are thinking about something, if you are exploring something, have a beginner mindset, have a mindset that you're still on day zero. You still need to learn and then be inquisitive. And the final, the last is the final thing. Whatever you do, have fun. Right? That doesn't mean nothing today, that's a big fun and long. Once again, I will blame for doing the incredible work and wish you all the best and kind of achieve more milestones and fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words and being with us tonight. Oh, easy. Let's welcome her. That was wonderful, Sayu. You brought such a great vibe to the room, isn't it?
On how frameworks and technology are very much.
First one will come. My independent lens is very something. That are pretty on the new hires in the corner. Something. So, the point Srivas was talking about tenants, and each department or each team is actually contributing in their own way. Srivas wanted to kind of just maybe step back a bit and then give a big picture, right? The Coschool architecture. The reality is, this takes between easily 1 hour, right? But again, I'm given only 10 minutes. So let's see what we can do in this 10 minutes and try to give you a big picture where each of you will compete with the brands in place when it comes to Coschool. So, when we started Coschool or School AI to start with, right? Even 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even before Gen AI started, one of the primary, one of the guiding principles or key outputs was learning without knowledge gaps, right? That still holds true, right? No matter what, right? You have various things, but the primary goal remains, trying to impart learning, knowledge gaps. So you are successful, or the student is successful, not just in getting marks, but successful in terms of learning, right? And next one is being a platform or product, right? What are the key things? This is highly personalized learning. That's something that's not easily available in a in-person school, right? In-person school has its own challenges. So one thing we can do that is not possible in the normal digital world is this highly personalized learning. And sometimes if you really look at it, these are the principles no matter what we do, right? So this is where then Gen AI came in, and the beauty about Gen AI is it kind of helps us accelerate whatever core principles that we have, right? So especially when it comes to personalized learning, that AI tutor, that's a big tool for us. That gives you this highly personalized tutor, that every topic like your school teacher come to your home along with you to kind of work with you, help you through your homework and your learning. So that's the AI tutor. So, so basically, AI is the one that helps you do this highly personalized learning. And again, when the AI tutor, when will the AI tutor, again, what are the key things, right? You guys have been playing around with Gen AI and so on, right? But so the most important thing is we want this tutor to be real-life trustworthy, right? Something that you can 100% rely upon. Unlike, when you're creating content, when it comes to, having a student, a student rely on the tutor, it has to be completely accurate and, 100% trustworthy, right? Anything, any element of uncertainty, they would have answers in that. That's extremely important for us. And then, if you do some guardrailing and making sure that you have solutions, when we say, guardrailing and hallucinations, basically making sure, for example, you have certain curriculum, certain grade, right? Making sure you kind of convey, your, curriculum and so on, right? And also making sure whatever is being said is 100% valid and it's not hallucinating. One of the biggest challenges with Gen AI is the hallucination. And there's a lot of effort that goes in, right? Both on the technology and the platform side, but more importantly and equally important is also the content side. So if we really look at it, there are two pillars here. One is the product, the platform, and the technology. And the equally important pillar is the content and then all the good content that happens here. What we do is very quickly dive into how the content is actually handled out. So the whole content ecosystem will just spend a few minutes and here. So if you remember a couple of years ago when we started, the content was all about submission, right? A lot of content was kind of brought in from outside, right? That was actually created or available elsewhere, and that was being submitted, right? We're seeing and the content gathering as you see at the top one, that's what's happening. But lately, right, in the last 1, 2 years, as we are trying to accelerate and for 10x, there's a lot of effort going on in the content generation as well, right? And also as the LLMs become more and more powerful, there's a lot more effort going on in that space. And in this year, for example, I think Srinath already discussed or mentioned, there's a lot more effort going on the generation side as well, right? But effectively, you get content whether it's updated or content gathered elsewhere or created, and then it goes through a whole content management ecosystem, workflows. And then eventually what we have is, the various forms of content, right? Whether it's like text, images, videos, images, PMs, and so on, right? That's what happens. So this is where the content team comes in and, they help in gathering it and putting it into a process that we didn't cover that way. So what happens after the content team does this part? Who are the folks who come in next? Is the SMEs, right? The learn team. So, so what was submitted by the content team now? So the SMEs come in at this stage, right? That's the last, if you see on the extreme right, what happens is there's a lot of curation that happens, right? There's validation, right? And there's also automation. So, as we kind of learn, there's a lot more automation coming in. So, for example, we do view checks, there's a lot of metadata extraction, then the images come in, right? There's a lot of automation that happens, but effectively the SMEs help you in curating, labeling, and validation. And then effectively, at that point, what you get from the SMEs is the artifacts or what we can do like curated questions, right? And also content, basically. Like when you look at the questions, what happens, you get explanation, right? There's a lot of that stuff, rubrics and all of that comes in. I mean, so I know for everybody it may be a little too much, but at least that is great to teach and appreciate the effort that goes into it. But the rest of the team, if you can at least understand at a high level what's going on, I think that adequate for today, right? So basically, there's a lot of curated questions, then there's approved content. That becomes the basis, right? From there, what happens is you fill the curriculums. So initially, in the earlier days, we mostly supported CBSE, right? But now we're working on ICSC, state syllabus, and all the advanced and so on. So tomorrow, there'll be more and more curriculums coming in. But the beauty is each curriculum, so for example, each curriculum, there's like syllabus mapping, knowledge maps, and there's certain things that are specific to that particular curriculum. But it uses or reuses a lot of the other artifacts that have been created. So that's the beauty, right? So that's our ability to scale as we add more and more curriculums. Right? So in this year, in the coming year, you will see lots more new curriculums coming, but at a much faster pace, right? Compared to, let's say, the time we look for CBSE, because a lot of this stuff is going to be used and able to accelerate how we are going to add new curriculums. So hopefully this gives you a picture about how all the good work that goes on the content that the SME teams and like I said, one of the key pillars for effective AI tutor. So yeah, I think sorry, I think it's been that's fine, right? Let's move on. So I think the next is I just want to get a high level picture about the raw picture. Again, given that we have only 5 minutes or so, we'll just do a very high level overview. Sure. Okay. So let's so the bottommost level, right? We have the build on pyramid infrastructure. And then there's a couple of key services That's it all built on that on the basis of a lot of other things that we do. So the management and so on. So, and here is where the content we spoke about comes in, right? That is used and they actually utilize the content and not used in the to convey the children, right? And the children like have the AHM models, the LLMs and so on. So today I'm not going to deep dive into the tutor. Maybe nowadays we just straight about governments who can share the at a later point. But broadly, we talk about the AI tutor, present content and all this and platform with everything and things. So, and then we also utilize a lot of external services on the right, like you can see a lot of LLMs and gateways and cloud marketing and so on, right? All the external services that we use. And then, we also have what's called as a data lake, right? All the data that we have, whether it is content or the student information, as the student are learning, there's a lot of information that's being generated, right? The homework that they do, the questions they answer, how they answer, and so on, right? So a lot of information that gives, to analyze and provide insights, both for the students themselves, the teachers, the parents, but also internally for us to understand what's going on inside of the system. So that's the data lake. And then what happens is ultimately all of this good stuff has to be delivered to the student by means of teachers, like we kind of, ultimately the students see some uses. Right? In this case, let's say guided practice as right, so ask it out, all these features that are available for the students. And they get delivered through the student portal and connected to the students basically. Similarly, the next person or the next users of a system, who are they, for example, the teachers, right? So again, here we have all these nice lovely features for the teachers. And through the teacher portal, we deliver it to the various teacher personas, right? In our case, we have the subject teacher, the school leaders of the principal, coordinator, and so on, and also the school admin. And then the other stakeholder, right? Who's the other stakeholder from the customer point of view? Did somebody say something? Parents, right? Absolutely. Right? Here again, there's a lot of teachers. I mean, it's just a very few for a sample, right? Clearly, there's a lot more to it. So again, we have the parent portal, and through which the parents can make their all the power of the platform. Okay, that's so good, right? All the good things, and then all the customers, right? And you got to see them. But then you know what? There's more to it, right? There's also our internal stakeholders, right? So who are our internal stakeholders? Like she was mentioned in the earlier discussion. All the content creators, right? Or we just spoke about it, right? There's one of the key things is like we discussed, the content creators need a lot of tooling, a lot of infrastructure, and all the happens, and that's exposed to the content portal. And next one, the SMEs, right? Like while SMEs participated in the content creation, but the other important aspect is they also participate in validation, right? When they say validation, it's about the curation. Also validating, for example, when they greenlight a new topic, or when they are greenlighting a new feature, for example, the handwriting feature or any of the new features, it's first internally exposed to the SMEs. Because we can't afford, right? While it goes through QA validation and everything, we can't immediately surface to the customers. So what happens is we initially open it up to SMEs. So SMEs, try it out, validate it, only when they're happy about it, we are actually opening up to the end users or the customers in this case. And I mean, to be honest, right, I mean, if you look at it, all of this is very critical because we take this very seriously, right? Unlike, let's say, any vanilla computer out there, I don't think they take this much effort, they take it this seriously. Like I said, it's very important. We don't want to kind of expose the students to anything that's kind of we're not sure about, right? We can't take chances with students. So there's a lot of this infrastructure that comes in. And initially, like in the earlier days, clearly a lot of this was manual.
And one of the key shifts that's happening in the last quarter and this coming year is automation of it, right? There's more and more objects getting automated. So all of this can be speed up or 10x that we spoke about, right? In each of this, you'll see a lot of 10x happening by means of automation. And of course, the last stakeholder internally is the customer success, the operations admin, and the marketing folks, right? There's a separate admin portal, right, through which a lot of the work related to that happens. So hopefully this gives you a very, kind of very high level picture, right? The stack and all the different stakeholders and the customers and the different personas that happen. And clearly there's a lot more, right? You can keep diving each of them and we can spend just 1 hour. But the whole idea is for you to give you a high level picture. So where each team understands where they fit into the grand scheme of things as we kind of go build out the next round and the next what we call generation of the future of the product as such in the coming years. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ram, for your valuable insights. As engineers, we could really connect with what you said. And it's exciting to see everyone is contributing to Coschool ecosystem.
Hey, Rajan, did you get your goodies?
Yeah, I did. I really like my avatar.
I love it. I look like a Barbie doll. The team really nailed turning all of us into superheroes. I hope everyone is excited after seeing their whole transformation.
Absolutely. Now the real fun begins. Let's see how everyone can guess the superhero.
Why not? Let's bring in Bando to take it from here.
Bandhav, over to you.
Hi guys, I'm back again. So this game is simple. Here's the superhero. Slide to be. So the rules are simple. Whoever is the person we display, tell them they keep the department and keep those standing beside them. And all of us, everyone will get the object. So all of us, and also everyone will bring the pouches. There are images of AI generated images of themselves. It's a fridge magnet. People can go home, stick it to your fridge, clean daily. It will be a good fun thing for you to do. So let's start the game. It's just like a demo. Let's see how our two counters, two pillars are turned out to. Any sir, answer any comments? Thank you. So let's go to the next slide. You know the rules. It's simple. Here's the person's real name. And whoever wants to answer, guys. Then leave the department and please go stand next to them. Point out the person. Yes. Any comments on the English? Okay, thank you so much. Next time, next you. Any guesses? Anyone who wanted to want to? Sir, long term answer. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. You guys, bye. Come on, guys. Anyone was in name department to and also you can point out to the person where he okay, the mic's not working out. Let's go to the next slide. One guys, I want to answer the mic. Okay, the last slide for the not for the imaging, but I'll come back again with more slides and more images. Please be curious. Next slide, please. This is MP sir, any guesses? Rapid answer. You guys, thank you for your participation and be back.
That's a fantastic team. It's amazing to see the creativity, right? Only it must be like me or right? So some people don't just witness the journey, they help build the path. Please join me in welcoming our co-founder Rajshekar Avagada to share his thoughts and inspire us forward.
Don't go anywhere.
Good one, Sarayu. Proceed. Congratulations, everyone. Very nice presentation. Entire movie in 5 minutes. Very clear. This thing. And also, Srinivas. Very good presentation. I still don't understand techniques and come to that point. But yeah, great team. I noticed one thing. I don't know how many of you noticed. And Ram was talking about technology. Sampath went back there and completely stopped. It came back. Did you notice that? So, yeah, imagine team. I don't know what happened in the back magic. Good. So I want to tell you something more to the youngsters and there's people who started their careers a couple of years back. You have Rakesh. Rakesh said that the kind of work environment you have, the kind of technologies you are using, cutting edge technologies, or whatever maybe the opportunity we have, he said that the 0.0001 people are working, who are working, not for working at home, globally have this kind of opportunity. Just imagine when you had the opportunity in your early careers, how much you are going to be scaling the next 20 years, 30 years in your professional career. You may be running a low organization, you may be running big companies, whatever it may be. The opportunity, the platform, what you have today, and someone who is the Rajesh Patami, he is IIT, Microsoft, ILP, and McKinsey. So just the kind of appreciation he had for the work. So living this moment, this moment matters a lot for us because the world is changing significantly, which everyone are witnessing. We are seeing the AI wave happening globally, especially in education. Everywhere, you name a sector where AI is not there, it is very difficult. One. So globally, a significant opportunity in education companies to transform the students and the institutions into next level. And you are part of that opportunity. You are part of the. This is kind of once in lifetime opportunity for all of you. All of us. You decide whether you want to watch it or you want to perform it. While the other day we were watching the cricket T20, we are all watchers, somebody else performs. But today you have an opportunity to perform at that level, to enhance the learnings of next generation, more from explain the things without any gaps. So this level of opportunity, as Rakesh said, I don't know percentage wise 0.001 or not, but when I see people, when I talk to the people, when I talk to the people who are working in IT companies, I don't feel the vibe what I feel when I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to the people reasonably good IT companies. So I also see, but the level of this thing relaxation really gave me goosebumps. I don't know how much it feel. So the world is tilting. You decide you want to part of them, you want to touch on it. There are only two options. The people who can memorize this advancement of AI are going to be the top of the world. People who can't are going to be crushed under that load and the pressure. So if you look at the growth story of people combined, look at the journey of Coschool. There was no AI when we started. There was no generative AI when we started Coschool. Prior to that, it's called inner school. And look at the Oak Ridge, or look at the 7. Whatever we started, we visualized what could be the opportunity coming ahead and trying to grab that opportunity. It's the first of its kind international school in this region, in the combined states of Andhra and Telangana. And nobody could visualize it. Nobody could imagine it. But it is not easy journey. I come to that point. This thing is not easy journey. The crux of the point is we are living at the moment where entire transformation is happening. And we don't have time to work on it actually. A very narrow time. We don't have luxury of time. We can't even afford to understand that the world is tilting. It will happen. Whether you blink or you see, you become a watcher or you become a performer, that's not a choice, limited choice. If you become a performer, look at today, if you are a performer in this transformation journey, after 20 years, where individually you are going to be there, or where the company, Coschool is going to be there. What kind of opportunity you have, both individually and company wise, to take care of. So, as I said that, unfortunately, we don't have time. Speed is not the option. We don't have time to blink also. So, if anyone of you using the electric car, I'm using an electric car, there's an option called boost mode. I don't know all the cars have or not. So the moment you press boost mode, the speed gets just doubles. doesn't matter you're 100 or 150, it can doubles or 10 seconds. And that kinds of emergencies or maybe overtaking, if you want to boost, you can boost it up. Forget about all the even our PHP and all those things. That's the level of boost we need. As I compare the word that boost and the post boost, that's what I mean. I don't know what Srinivas means this one. This is where actually we don't have time, unfortunately. We have to move fast. We don't have time to blink. Every respective department you are working, please understand, we need to make it fast. Not really for boost. Significant fast. And in this opportunity, every role is a growth event. Every role, every department, everyone, every individual. I want to ask you a simple, easy question. How many of you are using generative AI, any of these AI? Why are you sharing it? People who are not raising hand, they are not using. Can you raise properly? Sorry for that. So, almost everyone or everyone? Everyone. So, if I have to ask this question, how many of you are using 3 years back? 4 years back? There was no AI, there was no generative AI before ChatGPT. Zero. Just imagine how much the world. Can you imagine a world that without this AI? So I don't understand where from Srinivas picked up 10x. I see this AI is a million x opportunity for me. The kind of work I am doing, I am relatively being smaller than you, but individually. But I see it's a million x opportunity. It is not 10x opportunity. But I don't want to debate the numbers. He also just for reference said I also saying for the reference. But this is all what you believe. If you believe 10x, it is 10x. If you believe it's billion x, it's billion x. These are the times we are living. Nowhere we visualize what can be done through technology 3 years back, 4 years back. Nobody can imagine that without coding, with just white coding, we can do things. Like for example, I was explaining to my nephew who is starting his career this afternoon or lunch. So he just keeps the money in mutual funds and it will grow nicely, settle up the percentage of return and all those things. And if you, but by your retirement, you get a good money, decent money, and it beats inflation for 300%. I'm trying to explain. This explanation I failed for 20 years in explaining everybody. But today, I asked him just ask ChatGPT all these things. When he did that exercise, he strongly believed. He was asking me tomorrow I want to invest. This was very difficult for me to convince anybody. Because when I say this, just see they can't understand, but they do on their own. I mean, all these are amazing moments. Why? I said million X is look at if you remember inner score pre generative AI era to Coschool. Is it not a million X improvement? Because what I could see is an amazing this thing. And if you look at Coschool business model, the one of the best business model I have experienced in past 25 years. Best business model, not only in our company, but generally whatever I have seen. I'll tell you why. I just explain in a minute very briefly why I said that point. It's a frictionless business business model. In India, like Western world, largely we have private schools. And if any company want to go and ask, associate with a company, you have to pay per student this much. That was the original model actually. Per student, you have to pay X amount of fees. The private schools in India cannot afford to pay from their pocket because they have not budgeted these things and can't budget because they have other ways this thing and this thing. So there's a dilemma they have. Then some schools ask parents, okay, we are associating with so the company, you pay X amount of this thing every year. There's a lot of delicacy to ask parents this point because one person is enough to spoil the entire environment in the school. And they say we don't want to pay. You didn't tell in the beginning of the admission when I took the admission 5 years back. Who knows 5 years back they generated in. So there's a lot of friction in school to implement EdTech. But the business model what we have is completely frictionless business model. I'll tell you a secret. NP and me discusses few thoughts, ideas, challenges, and all those things. Maybe I always, whenever we discuss something or present something, say something, takes a lot of time to reflect, at least try. Because he strongly believing, if I also say yes, let me one sided bullish mistake. So it usually takes time. When he said about this model, I could not hold for 5 seconds my mistake. I told him that this is the best idea ever. I have seen, not we have implemented, I have seen in 25 years across industries. It's not easy to get that idea. Schools don't need to pay, teachers don't need to pay, parents do not have any compulsion to pay. It's just option. And I was talking to Venkat this morning, and the numbers are quite happy that the way parents started paying for the credits. Though it's a beginning, then it will improve significantly the numbers. We just started, I just looked at some 20-30 people's data, and it's very impressive and encouraging. So, we still have a challenge. It's not that we don't have challenge. We still have a challenge. And challenge is big, significant. How do we turn this strategy into action? End of the day, we need to get good quality schools, good number of quality schools to start with within India and maybe across the globe later. So think about yeah, I feel some challenge. I'm sure you also might be having some challenges in respect to work. So I'm sure NP and top team, whoever we will be representing, I'm 100% sure, 100% has a solution to every challenge. First, please look at your own challenges in your own department, your own individual challenges, and approach your leaders, your respective managers, and maybe ask your manager to get next level appointment, you can reach out to NP if you have a really challenge. I can coordinate that also if you have any problem in getting those appointments. You can contact Vishwa. Whatever we say, whether it's MP or Brahm or Sharad or Srinivas or whoever it may be, whatever we say, unless otherwise we believe, unless otherwise we have a solution to that one, we never say. There's no point in saying. So, coming back to my challenge, the gap between where we are today and where we wanted to be, that's a significant gap in terms of getting schools into school AI production. There's a significant challenge. So think about how do you help in that process. So there is no passenger seat here. Everybody are drivers. Everybody's hands are on steering wheel. So dreams are expensive. When we think something big we want to visualize, so they are very expensive dreams. It's easy to think that X number of schools, X into other Y number of students, and maybe J number of teachers, and all those things. It's easy to dream, but get on to that point is not easy. So maybe our few of our minds are not enough. I want everybody to come onto the primary school and help us on that. I would like to propose every department to contribute two people for a day to have a brainstorming session. I would like to invite them to some neutral place and we'll have a discussion. Before that, I want every department to discuss with them how do we get more visibility in schools. I'm talking right simple English. Please understand. How do we get more visibility in schools? How do we get more engagement in schools? How do we get people to know about Coschool? How do we engage them? It could be teachers, it could be students, and same. I wanted to discuss within our department, maybe probably next week, and coordinate with Vishwa. And I want everybody to contribute two people with your discussion summary and all those things. I want those people to be very, very enthusiastic and curious people. I don't need experienced people, but curiosity and enthusiasm is more important. So, belief is not when you hold times are very good. Belief is it's what also say when times are brutal. So, wherever we have challenges, let's support each other and vice versa. Vice versa. But why I said enthusiastic and curious people is mandatory is unfortunately I don't have budgets. So what I will tell, explain, encourage, teach how you can work on a starvation mode. Starvation mode, I repeat that sentence, repeat that word, starvation mode, still can reach excellence. I have done earlier many things, even today also I'm doing. Zero extra budgets. It could be a little bit of, very little bit, maybe not the cost of ChatGPT subscription, maybe cost of Wi-Fi. With that level of cost, how do we get that kind of visibility? That is what I wanted to you to discuss. Discuss internally, and I'll coordinate with Vishwa next week. If you do next to next week, I want to have some time with all the team. I request to Paritosh and Ishan can coordinate from my side, and we'll have a session on that. And just whether will be as one group or two groups. So I just want to. I'm sharing this point before because I use the word starvation very purposefully. Imagine the days that the technologies what we are using today are data what we have access. Earlier, 20 years back, not about 50 years back, 20 years back, only NASA kind of companies only used it. Today, we have everything access. You see Google Maps, you see ChatGPT, anything you see, whatever it may be, very, very accessible data and the technology. You may not surprise maybe 20 years down the line maybe some of your family members launch a rocket from home. May not be 20 years also been. I never imagined this not these are launching. The same thing people at homes tomorrow. So I want everybody to work on this project. Together, with 300 minds, impact millions of students. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable insights. We'll definitely try to cope up with what you have mentioned. And just to add to it, this video was generated with one single prompt within 10 minutes. Hey, Swati, what are you holding? I know, but you want to find the manufacturing bugs in that also? For that, we have so many masters that, that has played the football. Yes, let's see the football glimpse. I think you all left.
Oh, it seems I have lot of coaches here for free.
Yes, please make sure you raise less bugs to some point. Because even gold 3 can make 3 gold.
But it would work. Then let's get it. I know it's getting late. So we haven't had an incredible evening so far. But now it's time for something really special.
Absolutely. We are thrilled to welcome someone who has been driving force behind everything we do at Coschool.
Please join us welcome our CEO Nagaprasad Tumaya. The vision and direction that's shaping our future steps.
Over to you, sir. Please be seated, please.
Good evening. Shahid reminded me last time I mentioned to that dress code was, I didn't check what was the dress code. So this morning, that's why she reminded me the dress code. And as per my month of birth, I'm supposed to wear white. So doing the same what you are asked to do is not my type. This, I see a pattern where from that kick I get, but that's what we. Today, if you are seeing out in the world, including while coming, I was listening to your podcast. College freshers getting jobs, we just forget it. That's what the general global narrative. Made it a point, Coschool shall have almost only freshers. So the day one when Vishwa was helping me, even it was before inner score. The first thing I told him, we shall have interns with an intent to hire. More than intent to hire, when they work with us, they should learn something that helps them in their future. When I see so many interns getting recruited, I feel so happy, so joyful. At least we are able to give that hope. There is a world that exists. Quite opposite to the narrative. After getting graduated from college, people need not to be in the despair. If you have interest, if you have intent, if you have commitment, there are so many ways things can be created. But at the same time, as Rakesh was mentioning and Raj was mentioning, the one slide Ram has created to give a glimpse to each one of you how it operates. The most simplistic things are easiest things that we come across in life. Typically, the most complex in its background. The more you try to make it easy for others, the heavy lifting that you have to do in the process of making it so simple for people. My general comparison is always with WhatsApp. We all use WhatsApp. Everybody, not just for school employees. Everybody uses WhatsApp. Who taught them how to use it? So a technology that doesn't require any introduction or uses help. That's what is true technology. That's what I sincerely believe. That is the philosophy that is going into creation of Coschool. And as I mentioned, to make it so simple, the heavy lifting that is happening day in and day out is so phenomenal. Who is doing that? Everyone sitting in this room, everyone who have joined remotely. This is what is happening. Even before I think I mentioned in earlier all hands also, we think of global companies. We feel from distance so wow. We are here sitting to create that wow to the rest of the world. We are the same. Shane this afternoon was mentioning campuses where she is recruiting college recruitment. The placement officers are reaching out to her. Can Coschool do similar what it is doing for schools, for our colleges also? I don't know how much she explained to them. That's where it is not only resonating for schools, even beyond. Last week I was taking a master class in Delhi as part of Paris conference. What we expected to be like these round tables, 30, 40, the highest number in previous years of master classes, the participation was like that. It was an auditorium full of school leaders and principals. The world is so keen, just not what we are doing at Coschool. Also want to listen to us, pick ideas and clues how to go about. That is the stage we are. Without human work, what you have created, if I'm just talking, then it is shallow, has nothing. No tech product ever in its existence has had 20% daily active users. But we have such a phenomenal achievement, 20% daily active users. For your reference, the best education product at a user level, user friendly level, Duolingo, the daily active users below 5%. I haven't come across any other educational product. It's not a gaming product. Being an education product, having daily active users 20% is not that we are controlling all that. What we have created has that power. As Raj mentioned, a friction-free, frictionless business model. Recently, because Raj already put us on starvation mode, so you have to keep scouting for money. So in the process, I was talking to one known investor who is seasoned, who runs a large fund. He invests in India and outside also. He was mentioning, Naga, I haven't come across such a friction-free business model so far. Where from we have all this coming up. You know, in 60 days, start to end, a product that was built as a monolith for subscription SaaS model is completely broken into such smaller micro pieces and recreated to work as a pay-per-use model. Those who understand how it works, it is such a phenomenal task that Ram, Srinivas, and everybody sitting in this room, be it the design product, everyone has done such a phenomenal work. That's how we are able to do that within just 60 days. I don't know how many sleepless nights every one of you have spent. Because we are able to deliver within that time, I am able to talk it outside. I'm just a face to you, to your work. This afternoon we were discussing on the restructuring of the education department. Without increasing even one headcount, how do we create required content and the entire educational module for 10 curriculums in next 6 months? That is the target we are working on. As a result, see, that's where the Srinivas has picked from last quarter goal of unless your productivity improves by 10x, you have no existence. I think that's what the reference of 10x is what Raj is referring to million x. That is still, I think, this 10x won't take much time to become million x. This is one quarter target. If we succeed, see, aspirations can be anything. Only when we succeed and we deliver, now the way the pay-per-use model is delivered, then we have credibility in our talk. Otherwise, it remains as a talk. That is the whole idea. Just so far in 3 years, the education department could deliver 8th, 9th, 10th CBSE with NCERT publication. 3 years. And today we are serving paid schools 9. That's what Sanjay's slide says. If I go by Nishan's slide, it is 15. Somewhere the truth lies. So the onboarding process to the paid to onboarding, that is the gap. There is no lie in it. But this 3 years of program, the content education department could be able to deliver. I know how many times, how many sleepless nights the SMEs and the entire team has spent. It was not an easy work and easy effort. Because I am directly heading the department, I also know what all is going into it. However, that's not the rate at which we can grow and still survive. See, we just should not feel good with our effort. That doesn't matter. What matters is what we deliver. To do that, the 3 years, at least in the next 6 months, becoming 7 years, that is 6 to 12, and at least 5 curriculums. Just today only after Shine, she said that she has recruited ICSC curriculum lead also to recruit ELP curriculum lead. In next couple of weeks, it would be 5 curriculums at least we are going to have in the 6 to 12. It is going to be delivered in next 6 months without increasing the headcount of education department. That's where the 10x or whatever is the doubling effect that we are going to achieve. Similarly, how in each of the function we take that kind of approach. When I'm saying this, it cannot remain a talk in the air. It has to have a concrete plan behind it. Why I'm telling that is for each department to think the multiple percentage of delivery, how we can achieve. Krishna AI is one such effective tools that we have come up with. This, the thinking behind, not the same content. The product can be used by all the departments for whereon multiple times of discussion, multiple times of hand-holding requirement is happening. If you set up for your internal use, then you can help each and every person's productivity by any X that you wish. The time lag can be minimized by so much fold. All these freshers who are just from college, in fact, I had to ask Vishwa, ask them keep their mouths shut because they just have come from college. Still, there is that college behavior. When somebody was addressing, what that point is very important is just before the external guest was here and speaking, and one of his point was, you have such an opportunity to learn. You are not in college anymore. That sense is important. Every second, it has to be so much focused. Nothing else should come to your mind but from outperforming, performing beyond any expectation. Only when each one of you can perform beyond expectation, Coschool will perform beyond expectation. There is no other shortcut to it. There is no other way of achieving great outcomes. Today, world is listening a hope. Tomorrow, they have to witness a reality. That reality, the whole country feels proud for what we have done. There are many leaders sitting in this room. They are just sitting in this room and contributing to this cause because this is an Indian product that is going to go global, and be the contributors to that kind of creation gives the kind of satisfaction many of the leaders sitting in this room. Without connecting to that cause, without connecting to that mission, it is extremely difficult. It's not easy. And fortunately, this is, I feel, third time or fourth time, what we have initiated, even before it happening, has so much of tailwind. So there is something divine is helping to make this happen. Otherwise, when inner school becoming post school and where post school taking the Gen time, could any of these things we could do without this? This is what I feel is a divine force that is driving us. We can't take every credit to all this, but we should not also miss making best use of it. This year, AI is expected to grow 1000x better. This is not my statement. This is the creators, the big techs, their statement. The power that is giving you tailwind by 1000x, how much of that we make use is in our hands. They can only power us. We use or we let it go. Is our choice. If you are using yesterday's tools, yesterday's technology, you are missing today. Forget about last week, last month. Only if you are using today's technology, today's tools, and based on that, the revised policy, the processes can only help us take us that far. If we don't even know what is today's technology, where comes, how do we use it? So how much of time each one of us shall give to learning? Just each one of you have to. Today only I told the education team, stop using prompt anymore. So the word prompt, I asked education department to remove from its usage and say context setting. Today prompt is nothing but one sentence. Whatever you write, it gives. Whatever you say, don't even write. All the performance is coming from how much context you are setting so that you don't need to do it again and again, again and again, again and again. So, we were talking prompt, you can write prompt, but outdated again and again. That's no more a skill prompt. There was a time if you had prompt engineer as a title, there were some jobs. That's no more a skill prompt. That is, there was a time if you had prompt engineer as a title. See how fast the world is changing. How much time we are giving for learning is so important. Otherwise, the same college freshers, even before the freshness is experienced, gets to retirement. Those who are learning, even at 70, even at 80, even at 90, because most of the people are going to live, repeatedly telling, definitely your generation is going to live 120 years. At 30 or 40, you retire. What do you do with it? So, both one times and challenging times. So, are one and the same. Both one times for learners, challenging times. So, are one and the same. Both for not times for learners who don't have time to learn. So, are is good times. Both for not challenging times. For learners who don't have time to learn. This morning I have sent, I have every morning I send morning code for learners who don't have time to learn. This morning I have sent, I have sent this quote every morning I send morning code. The world is don't have time to learn. This morning I have sent, I have sent this quote every morning I send. The world is don't have time to learn. This morning I have sent. So we are, yeah, phone is not here. So anyhow, immediately a friend who lives in that court. So we are, yeah, phone is not here. So anyhow, he responded immediately. A friend who lives in Naga, I love this quote by this gentleman. There is some more to it. But the learners, the world belongs. And for the learned, the world doesn't exist. The moment, the day you feel I'm led, that day is the day the world doesn't exist. But for you, if you are elected, the world belongs to you. That is the principle if you can remember and you follow. All the challenging days are the brightest days. Thank you very much.
You know, for that entire business. It's exciting to see
Hello.
where you have headed.
Thank you so much, sir, for your great insights. I hope everyone got the context.
Right, everyone? The wait is over now.
Yes, it's time to celebrate our winners from the sports and office Olympics.
Big cheers to everyone who participated. Let us give your friends. Now, it's time to celebrate top performers.
Let me invite Naga sir and Raj sir to come on the stage and please.
Help us celebrate the achievement.
Please. Let's go with our first category, football.
Carlos, Afi, Sambar, Ritwik, Samar, Gloria, Aisha. Ankya, Devraj, Kohli, Nishant, Nitish, Ram, Ronan, and
And we have more graduating performance appeal. Okay, and attend the council. Can you please? Can we have Sitaram sir and Ram sir onto the stage, please?
it's time to celebrate our winter winners, men's doubles. The second prize goes to Devraj and Imran. Winners here, Sharad and Rashid.
And women's double second prize goes to Shine and Ramya. First prize goes to Tanmay and Rajeshri.
And the third Shine and Sharad. Sharing. And we can start timing in Ashna.
And we'll jump to cricket winners. Can we have long to the statements? Cricket problems. Vishnuvardan, Harsha, Nali, people, Rajan, Madhu.
Yeah. Arnav, Nitish, Aditya,
Can we have Sharat on the stage, please? Sharat, please. I think we have three Sharats. Is Sharat sorry? Can we have winners onto the stage, please? I think we can start CPL. Coschool Premier League. Can we have Kohli and the stage, please?
A1 winners are Team Teamwork, Hashin, Sukesh, Pradyumna, Disha, Maisha, Jeevita.
Varun, Ronak, Saristri, Comfort, Pranati. Manish. Can we have sleepers onto the stage, please? Team 3, can we have you on stage, please? Ajay, Saina, Deepika, Shivani, Sharma, Ravali, sorry.
Winner is Anya, Jaya.
Quiz 2, winner is Saranya, runner is Simran. And we have cricket MVP Vishnu, most valuable performer. Can we have Vishnu onto the stage, please? Now it's time to bring someone from the backstage. And about to dish. Glad to see all the engineers and thanks for bringing us till now. So to make this possible, we got like tremendous support from all the other departments and especially we got a lot of help from Sandhya, Varun and Vishnu and Ravindra have helped us connect all the students from